Hi folks, I hope you're all well. Back with another VFR video. In the SR22, I'm going to give it a bit of a leg stretch down to Bournemouth, excuse me, via Stonehenge and Salisbury Cathedral, so we'll be going down sort of Boscombe Down kind of area. Here's the map just here. So taking off, we're at Clutton Hill Airfield again, left hand turn, take us over Higher Littleton, Poulton, down over Frome, so some quite historic cities. We should get a view of the Westbury Whitehorse, down over Warminster and Warminster Battle Camp, follow the A36 into Salisbury, follow this A36 towards Salisbury, and then at the intersection at Fisherston Delamere, we should be able to see up 303 and should get a nice view of Stonehenge, turning away then to get a visual on Salisbury Cathedral, and keeping out of the putting a bit of distance between us and Boscombe Down, and then down routing towards Stony Cross, which is over the New Forest, and it is just near Minstead, just to the west there, a couple of miles. So that's Stony Cross there, that little cross, and there's an old airfield, disused airfield there. And then we'll be routing in for runway 26, which is this runway. So we're coming across and in and down, and then we'll be looking to exit to the right as we come into runway 26. So we're looking for the exit, which will be probably taxiway Tango or Mike. Hopefully we'll get Tango, and then that'll take us up to the general aviation area. And we'll park up there. So we've got Bournemouth charts there. We're going to tune to 126030. That will give us Bristol Airport just over there, behind Chew Valley Lake. That will give us Bristol Otis, and then we can see what's going on. Do the QNH quickly. 122.8 will be the Unicom that we'll be monitoring. There's no ATC on at the moment. We are going to be using VATSIM. 22.80. So we'll plumb that in, and then we'll do 126030. 26030.
Bristol Airport information, Mike 1400.
Fuel clouds at 500. Yeah, nothing much has changed. So what we'll do is we'll just put in Bournemouth Otis ready to go. We can flick over to quickly, saves us doing it in the air. We are going to be flying VFR, and we are VMC, but obviously if the weather deteriorates, we need to go to IMC. It's not predicted to, but it's always good to be prepared. Otis 13373. There we go. Hopefully I'll talk a little bit about the history of different places as we fly over them, from what I can remember, having lived in this area for some time. Let's get the wind options too. We are at the base of runway 07. I normally pull off just over there, but this is where the aircraft spawns us, so I just shut it down. We've got plenty of fuel anyway. Transponder will be Squawk Congruity, and the code will be 2000. Okay, transponder is on. Right, we've got a checklist, so we'll just nip through that really quickly. Starting the engine, key in the ignition. We've got nav lights. Get those on. Might as well leave the landing lights on because we're going to be flying straight out. Fuel tank selected, prime, and would help if we put the mixture up. Let's do that. 50% on the throttle. There we go. Reduce the throttle to hold 1,000 revs. That'll do. Okay. Alternators on. Let's have some flaps. 50%. Power lever ignition. Oil pressure is good. In the green. Engine parameters, avionics, master switch. Let's trim back now to nose up 3. Need quite a lot of trim on this aircraft. And go ahead, get the parking brakes on. Full takeoff. Power levers, engine instruments, power lever up 50%. We've got full movement, right, left, forward and back. And we're looking for 70 KIS. And we're off. Keep the centre line, like pull to the left. There's 70 knots, and we'll stick back very slowly and gently. Nice and smooth, and we'll go up to 1,000 feet and then we'll get the flaps up once we hit 1,000 feet. Let's turn left and avoid Clutton. There isn't actually an official noise abatement, but they get lots of complaints from residents about powered aircraft flying, so they ask you to try and avoid it if you look on their webpage. Pretty much going to fly, well, just it will be coming up on our right because I'm going to continue the turn round. But it's the village of Poulton on our right hand side now, which you'll be able to see just down there. And there's a sewage works at the back of the village. I don't know if that's demonstrated in the scenery. Like it. Just get the flaps up. Poulton had a rather large print works called Purnell's up until about 10-15 years ago, and then it was well, it wasn't running actually. It's been derelict for a number of years, but they knocked it down. They put a new estate in there now. Right, 2,000 feet. Let's trim out and level off. Back to 75%, get the fuel burn, correct fuel burn rate, otherwise we'll run out of fuel. Okay, happy days. I think we are just about there. Okay, pretty much trimmed out. We are flying on track because we want to be pushing southeast, which we are. We are going to fly just to the northeast of Frome, so Frome should be side. there's Froome. Froome was actually larger than Bath until the 1650s. Froome it's got a lot of history with sort of the Industrial Revolution. A lot of clothing and that type of stuff was made there, and then it moved into the printing industry. It was quite heavily involved in the printing industry. Highly recommend, if you're ever visiting down this way, visit Froome. It's quite a scenic little place. It's got a nice little museum there. We're also flying now towards, sorry, I've got a chart in front of me. So this is Westbury Whitehorse is up there on the hill. Westbury Whitehorse was recently refurbished by the military from RNS Yeovils, I believe, and they used Chinook helicopters, the Army Air Corps, to replenish the chalk. They took big dumpy sacks of chalk up there and replaced it. And I think that is meant to be it there, but it's obviously not rendered. So from Westbury we want to pick up the A36, which is going to be on our left at the moment, and we want to look for the 303. Lost a little bit of altitude, so we'll just pick that back up. I don't know Westbury that well, so I don't know what the major landmarks are, I'll be honest. But the railway line, that's the railway line off to our left, I believe now. Yes, it is. That is the railway line, looking at the charts. Just down there. That's Westbury Station there. Okay, yeah, I recognise Westbury Station, and then the lakes, yeah, so that's the railway line there. And there's the A36, which is the road we want to pick up. That's the village of town of Wiltshire there on the right hand side. Obviously lots of military interaction down there. You've got a special warfare school, special weapons school, you've got tank regiments based there I believe as well. Huge, this is all Salisbury plane training area. When we, just before we hit Stonehenge, and we will make sure that the traffic at Boscombe Down know that we're entering the control zone. So this is a danger area, marked on the charts. However, I have checked, there's no exercises going on today, and for the purposes of the simulator we wouldn't obviously be in any danger anyway, but I have checked. You can cross danger areas, you've just got to make sure you take the relevant precautions in doing so. You're aware of what's going on and what the danger might be. Just trim up very slightly. It should hold us just right in good stead. Right, we are looking now for the A303. That's Cope Hill Down Training Centre there. Or Chiltern, yeah, that's Cope Hill Down. So the MOD bought that village in the war for during the war for training, and they've never given it back. Interestingly enough. maps, we should intersect with 303. We should pretty much overfly the 303. It should be out here in front somewhere. Chitton, Chitton. And that looks like A303 there. Winterbourne Stoke is pretty much directly ahead, so yeah, that looks like 303. Yep, that's the 303 there, so we will overfly the 303 pretty much and turn left. Control zones pretty much starts there, so yeah. There's the roundabout, and there's the stone circle, otherwise known as Stonehenge. Oscar down traffic, Golf Bravo Oscar Mike Hotel, entering the control zone, heading north-northeast via Stonehenge. There's the 303, and there they are, the Circle of Stones. Prehistoric monument, about 15 foot high I think, and nobody really knows how they got there, or what they were for. Coming up over Amesbury now, and we're going to turn off right the way around and pretty much do an orbit of the stones. To come back round to fly south east and get eyes on Salisbury Cathedral. Many people all know this stretch of road, probably been stuck on it a few times, travelling from London to and from London and southwest. You can, I think there's a fence around it now, but you used to be able to go up and touch pretty much go up and touch them, but I don't think you're allowed to do that anymore. We'll fly pretty much off track just to get out of the control zone, I think. Very slightly, we're pretty much heading straight towards Salisbury now anyway, and that should get us out of the control zone. There's no other traffic here anyway. Boscombe down traffic, Golf Bravo Oscar Mike Hotel, routing direct Salisbury Cathedral from the north at 2000. Should be able to clap eyes on Salisbury Cathedral. Should be our far right hand side. Off our left hand side even, there it is. Disorientated between the charts and the GPS there. There she is, there's Salisbury Cathedral. It's got a chapter house with a clock, one of the oldest working clocks in the world, on Salisbury Cathedral. It's a copy of the Magna Carta, I believe, as well. Some kind of building site there. Yes, it's a copy of the Magna Carta. And it was just, I've got my page open here. Its main body was completed in the 12th century. So the eyes on Salisbury Cathedral, we need to track left now. Pretty much. Yeah, the spire was built later on in 1320. It's 100 years later. Pretty much. It took a while to build it. It's more than likely down to tools they had at the time, I would imagine. Salisbury again is quite an industrial town. Not really a lot there other than the cathedral, to be fair, and it's sort of out in the middle of nowhere. I wouldn't go out of your way to visit it. It's much nicer places to visit, but I am biased because I'm not from Wiltshire, so. Weather's looking pretty rubbish. Looking ahead, let's have a look at the chart quickly. So exiting Salisbury now to the southeast, pretty much on a course for Southampton. Winds coming across us at 15 knots from the west. Got traffic showing on the radar there. Just check VPilot. Got no traffic information available, so I'm assuming they're above us. Well, they will be above us because they're quite small, so I'd indicate they are above us. They would be larger if they were near us, and they would be larger than us if they were below us. So you can see them. That's how this chart works, as far as I'm aware. Right, so we're looking now. This is the New Forest we're coming up over. Parts of the New Forest. Lamford and the A36 should be off to our left. Pretty close as far as I'm aware. Yep, there's the A36, and that there is Lamford that we are parallel with now. across a bit because we need to get in line with Minstead. Bournemouth traffic, Golf Bravo, Oscar Mike Hotel, entering the control zone via Stony Cross, 6 miles to run. Golf Bravo, Oscar Mike Hotel 2000. So yeah, we've entered the control zone pretty much now, into controlled airspace. Stony Cross should be coming up, should be this looking for a road running through the middle, which is that. Stony Cross is further up there, so that's Stony Cross. That's Minstead, and that's Stony Cross further up. So we can pretty much track right now, all the way around. Trying to keep this as visual as possible without looking at the GPS. Dipped a little bit low there. Take it down to 1500 anyway. Bring the control levers back very slightly. There's the runway. I'll quick listen to the ATIS information. It's going to come up.
Bournemouth Airport information Golf 14000 Zulu. Wind 252 at 17. Visibility 6. Sky condition. Few clouds at 500 feet.
Happy days. Right, 1500 feet will do. Try and come round visually now. There's the runway. Keep that in view. And we're pretty much going to join on the base. So what the plan is, once we land here, we're going to go on to do a second leg, and I'll explain more about that on the ground. I've recently, obviously, been doing my VATSIM private pilots, PPLA. So looking, obviously, doing more of the VFR stuff and practicing with that. I highly recommend anybody who's on VATSIM go through their PPL program. I've really enjoyed it. I've done the online learning courses so far, and it's been a lot of fun. I've learned a hell of a lot. Bournemouth Traffic Golf Bravo Oscar Mike Hotel, now turning base runway 26. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Really enjoying it. I highly recommend it to anybody that wants to fly on VATSIM. It teaches you all the ground school stuff, all the weather information, weather phenomenons, the lot, everything you need to know. And it's kept in line with the EASA standards, so what the real life course is all about, essentially. So, looking to turn on to final. A little bit low. There we go, that's better. Bournemouth Traffic Golf Bravo Oscar Mike Hotel, long final, runway 26. Try and trim the aircraft up a little bit. That's it. Want to get down a little bit now and slow ourselves off. Approach speed of about 80-ish knots. Still too high, there we go. Landing speed of 72. And we're good. Gears is fixed gear on this aircraft, light steering condition, fuel is balanced and good. Speeds are good, we are slightly too low, just dip below the glide.
500.
Good. So the thicker taxiway you can see up ahead is taxiway Tango, and that used to be a runway, which has obviously now it's now disused and used as a taxiway. Try and keep it nice and stable. The aiming point in sight pretty much. Activate my track IR there. Drop the speed off a little bit. Speed's gradually coming off now, which is good. Days, that's what we like. Okay, taxiway Tango will exit, and we'll head up to the Flying Club, which is just over there in the top right hand corner. Landing lights off, strobes can go off now. Right, I'm going to go and park up on stand, folks, and we will resume very shortly. Rightio, folks, I'm back to nip off for a couple of hours and just sort some bits and bobs out around the house. We're going to depart now. It's just gone 8:10 in the evening. Should be nice to maybe get the last bit of sun as we go down the south coast. Now the plan is, I briefly said before, we're going to do this VATSIM challenge, which you can find under pilots and then flight training exercises, and it's called Danger Danger. And the reason being is it goes past a few danger areas essentially. It's used for military training out in the sort of South Devon coast. So the plan is runway 26 departure, right hand turn off of 26 out to Tarrant Rushton, over Dorchester, up past Bridport, over Axminster, and then en route to land into Exeter. I haven't actually had a chance to see what runways in use at Exeter, so I'll have a quick look at that. We've also got an alternate airport of Dunk as well. Dunk is one of my favourite places to land. I used to fly at Dunk 12 Club years ago, so I do like it there. Right, without further ado, we'll go ahead, get started up, and we'll get going. VATSIM. We've got nobody on down this neck of the woods. Nice to see somebody set up in Newquay. Shout out to Daniel Button. Well done, thank you very much for that. Nice to see some services down south. See a lot up this end and a lot up north, but we don't get much down this way, so it's nice to see a controller down there. Obviously Cornwall's in the limelight at the moment because of the G7. It's nice to see people out and about. Lots and lots going on across Europe. Lots and lots of controllers on lots of areas, so that would be really good to fly across Europe, but we won't be doing that today. So let's go ahead, get the batteries on. I'll send the avionics on to have the radio work. Might as well go and get the navs on as well. Got enough fuel to get to Exeter. Still got the old flight plan in there, which needs to be cleared out really. Just put direct Echo Golf Tango Echo in there. Echo Golf Tango Echo. There we go. I'll get there in the end. There we go, there's the flight plan. What have we got down here? 133730.
Bournemouth Airport information Golf 190 Zulu.
Landed as part in 26, view clouds at 500, that won't affect us.
6. Sky condition, view clouds at 500 feet.
122.8.
Bournemouth Airport information hotel 190.
22.8, happy days. We'll plug Exeter's ATIS in there if we can, so should be on the briefing sheet, I hope. If not, we'll just nip into Navigraph and have a quick look. 119330. 119. Three, 330. Right, happy days. Let's have a quick listen in. Might not be close enough. Actually, no, not close enough. Okie doke. Right. Clear the alerts. BFD winds. Fuel we will put up. And let's go ahead and start the engines. Props clear. Back to 1000 RPM. Transponder set 2000 and we are good to go. It's pretty much straight down Juliet, I believe. Let's have a quick look on Navgraph charts. Down taxiway November, turn left, yeah, so just literally the runway's in front of us. Happy days. That's what we like. Fuel tank selected. Alternators. And we are pretty much good to go. Okie doke. Wow, he didn't call out on Unicom. Let's just check the text. Right, release parking brake and we'll head off. Just looking at through YouTube the other night, I noticed that Aerosoft are going to release another version of Emergency 112. They've got Autobahn Police Simulator 3 as well coming up, so I'll look to trial those at some stage. As I said earlier on briefly, I'm doing my VATSIM PPL. Highly recommend that. It's really, really good course so far. I've done modules 1, 2 and 3, which is the online learning, and learned a huge amount already. I'm waiting for to start my go flaps down, and we'll trim up. It is already 5.8, that'll do. Yeah, I learned a huge amount already. It's a really, really good course to do, even if you know a lot about flying already. A lot of people think it's going to be really hard, and there are parts of it that I'm sure will be very challenging, but I've already posted in Unicom. We'll just let's do that, so we'll roll straight on out, get on there, dilly-dally about. Bournemouth traffic, Golf Bravo Oscar Mike Hotel, departing runway 26 for Tarrant Rushton. Climb on up to 1,000 feet, and we'll get the flaps up. A little bit of cloud at 500, but it shouldn't affect us too much. Is we'll turn into the right, and Tarrant Rushton's just up here, this little yellow circle. Bit of a haze. Just keep an eye on V-Pilot. Just to make sure nobody's calling any. Yeah, Tarrant Rushton's up this way, so 1400. is getting pretty poor. Pretty much overhead Tarrant Rushton now. Let's have a quick look on the map. Oops, descended a little bit too much there. A little bit hazy today. We are prepared to go for IMC if we need to. So we're just coming up over Fern Down, and Tarrant Rushton's just ahead of us, so we're not too far off. We're definitely travelling the right direction. And then once we're overhead Tarrant Rushton, it's pretty much direct then to Dorchester on a track of 210, I believe. Temps looking good. Oh no, why is that doing that? Keep dipping down, need to keep that aircraft nose trimmed. Tarrant Rushton's coming up now on our left. It's basically a disused RF airfield that's now used as farmland. But you can still vaguely make out where the runways were if you look at it on Google Earth. Whether or not, I don't think it's represented very well in the game. Set of buildings, you can't see it very well, but it's down there. Right, left now to 210. Right, that's Tarrant Rushton there. Vaguely make out where the runways used to be, triangular pattern airfield. A37. I think it is for Dorchester. Should be coming up on our right hand side. Just drop the altitude down a little bit actually. Clouds getting a little bit thick for visual flight. May well have to just go direct to Exeter and bin this off. 210 is too much for steep track, so we should be able to get eyes on. The A37. Fly over it, to be honest, because that would help me out massively as a nav aid. That's not it. A37, dual carriageway. Ah, there it is there. That's the A37. Okay, so that's the Dorchester Road inbound, I believe. Yes, it will be. So we essentially need to handrail this now. We're down to 1,000 feet, so it needs to be a little bit careful. So follow this will take us into Dorchester, which should just be up ahead. Happy days. Well, A35 actually, I think this is called. This is not the A37. The A37 goes into Bath. This is the A35, which is the Bridport Road. It's got some pretty steep terrain on it. This is Puddle Town coming up on the left, I believe. Yeah, looks like it. Is that the cricket ground in the centre or sports ground? Yeah, that's Puddle Town. Some kind of sports ground there. Yeah, okay, cool. So we're about 5 miles or so away from Dorchester, and there it is, there's Dorchester. So from Dorchester we fly towards Axminster, which is track of it's direct west pretty much. Pretty much where the GPS is saying.
Airport information. Charlie 1900 Zulu.
Get the X-Tratus. Landing at 26 as well.
Sky condition. Few clouds at 600 feet. Few clouds at 4,300 feet. Few clouds at 12,200 feet. Temperature.
Okay, cool. This is Dorchester. We can actually continue following the A35 in fairness, over Dorchester and into Axminster, past Winterbourne, Stipleton, etc., etc. Broken out into the valleys, the clouds dropped off a little bit. Keep away from those pesky danger areas. Right, let's have a quick look on the map again. Right, just to the right of the A35 now. Just lost sight of it, so hopefully I'll regain that in a moment. Just there. There's the coastline, Jurassic coast, which we're going to stay away from. Nice little pond down there. The historic parish of Axminster coming up. There's the 35, still in sight, that's good. Used to travel to Axminster quite a bit to pick up hay working at home on the farm. Years ago. It's got the River Axe running through it, and obviously then goes on out to Axmouth or Axmouth, which is different from Exmouth, which we saw. I think we might have flown over on previous flights, which is just down here. It's this big channel you can see here, or I'm indicating with a mouse. be there in 12 minutes by the looks of things. Current speed. 28 miles to run. Yeah, so where was I? Yeah, talking about Axminster. Axminster became famous for its carpets because of the Axminster power loom or something, Axminster loom, which could basically weave carpets of different layers. That there is Bothenhampton, I believe. Beautiful Devon coast. Seaton or Lyme Regis coming up on the left. Seaton's the next one up, I think. Yeah, that's Lyme Bay and Lyme Regis there. Shame about the cloud, because it'd be quite a nice sunset this evening. If it wasn't for that cloud. Yeah, so Axminster's Axminster carpets is what it's famous for. Should be able to see like Ford Abbey from the sky, hopefully. I really hope that's in there. It's going to render in. Where's the A35? The A35's over there somewhere. Because it runs through Seaton, Lyme Regis, sorry, so Lyme Regis. Let's quick look at the map. A35, Wotton, Fitzpaine should be in the valley there. There's Wotton, Fitzpaine. Axminster should be coming up ahead. There's the solar panels. monsters ahead. And out there is Seaton, which is previously obviously a fishing town, and that's where Axmouth goes out. The River Axe points its way out to sea. How much fuel have we got? Plenty. Let me turn the engine off, that wouldn't be good. Ford Abbey then, can we see Ford Abbey? Can we see the Abbey? We'll just do a little orbit. We will orbit Axminster and see if we can pick it out. There's the A35. Which we can actually continue to follow up to Honiton if we wish, which will bring us in for the approach, but can we see the Abbey? I don't actually know whereabouts in Axminster it is, so that wouldn't help. There's the River Axe. Oh, it's actually not even. It's not in the centre of Axminster, which I didn't know. So we won't be able to see it. It's up towards Chardstock, which is in the other direction. So we won't be able to see that, I'm afraid. Right, so we pick up the A35 again. Cheers. It's a beautiful landmark, that. This will overfly it and then we'll pick it up on the right hand wing. 3 days. This cloud is frustrating. Ho-Town, or Honiton, as it's more commonly known. Should pick up the X waypoint, and once we get Honiton in sight we'll start slowing off a little bit. Let's get that altitude sorted out. What's the approach height for 26 into Exeter? 1680 basically, so yeah, we want to lose a little bit of height. Weaning off a little bit of speed now as well. Make a left-hand turn over on it. Exeter traffic Golf Bravo Oscar Mike Hotel, inbound runway 26, currently descending through 13,000 over Honiton. Is that the runway lights ahead? Yes it is. On it and there, A30 should be in sight as well. A30 runs along here and the M5 runs up there, M5 corridor. Okay, right, let's get our speed stable, let's get everything stabilised out slightly. Get trimmed up. For 80 knots approach speed. A little bit low. To a headwind, which is always good. Ottery St Mary now below. Nice little village. A couple of friends live in Ottery. Okay, we'll go flaps 1 now. Exeter traffic Golf Bravo Oscar Mike Hotel, long final, runway 26. Overspeed basically for the flaps thing. Flaps 2. Get that speed off. Ooh, not quite sure what track IR's doing there. A little bit more gas, just to keep the 80 knots there if we can. Falling slightly below the glide. Trim that up a little bit more. Try and recover that. nice and steady in. You can see Exeter City ahead. Off to your right, that will be Rockbeer. Wimpole, Aylesbury is off to the left. What else have we got? The M5 motorway is out to your right, as well as the A30, which we're flying over now. Funnily enough, the approach goes right over the top of the A30, which is that dual carriageway right there. Drive down that many times, that goes all the way into Exeter and then down onto Plymouth, and then you've got the A38 the other side, which goes down to North Dartmoor, North Cornwall, and then obviously left as I goes to Plymouth, Torquay, Paynton. 500 stable, a little bit fast. Let's reduce the speed a little bit more. The aiming point in sight, and we'll be looking to exit the runway to the right and go up to the flying club. Get that back under control, and we'll exit Echo. We'll make Echo. Happy days. You've got to remember to let the nose wheel down on this thing. Otherwise you lose your steering. Okay. Extra traffic Golf Bravo Oscar Mike Hotel, exited Echo, taxi into the Flying Club via Echo and November. It's Echo and November. I want to say it's Echo and November, but is it? It is Echo. It's not November, so it is Echo. Okay, that's fine. So there's the control tower over there. The Fire Brigade have a training centre down here. If you watched the first episode of the Squad Firefighting Simulator, you would have seen a clip at the end, which is a backdraft demonstration, and that is located at the back of the North Apron. Which is where we're going up to now. And this is taxiway Echo. Somewhere behind, it's probably not going to be in this. I wouldn't have thought. It would have rendered that well. And they've also got sewage treatment area out the back, which is why if you ever go over that side of the airfield, it absolutely stinks. They use it they've got a couple of like marshlands at the back of the green area of the airfield. Okie dokie. Just drop it on the grass over here. Do. Okay, flaps are up. Mixtures going down. alternators off, batteries off, and we are finished. Total flight time 35 minutes. Don't know why it hasn't counted the takeoff. That's unusual. How annoying. So we're 15 hours in the bag. That's it for this one, folks. What we're going to do next time is probably fly on down, continue on down the south coast, and hopefully I'll have a bit more information and be a bit more talkative. Starting to get later on in the day, been at work all day now, so getting a little bit tired, but hopefully you still enjoyed the video. I'm sure you'll agree the scenery is incredible, and it never gets old, and I can't wait to sort of do some Euro tours, go down to explore Africa and some of the other nations as part of the series. So I will see you next time. As ever, please leave a like, a comment. Please feel free to subscribe if you want to see more of the videos. And if you thought I was crap, leave me a dislike. But yeah, I'll see you next time. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Cheerio.